I'm Tanner Shuck. I've been working out for over 25 years. I've been coaching for over 10 years. I'm starting a YouTube channel. My goal with this channel is to put out legitimate fitness content. I want to help as many people as I can and offer as much value as possible. I really hope you enjoyed today's video.
Okay, let's do this fucking shit.
This is my first official YouTube video, and I wanted to talk about core strength. What is core strength? I feel like it's a very commonly heard term in the fitness industry, but very misunderstood. Is core strength just doing thousands of crunches? Is core strength doing a bunch of dumbbell side bends? Is it having pretty and defined abs? No, it's none of those things. I'll be the first to tell you, I could care less about having strong or lean abs. What really matters to me and what more people should care about is just having a strong and functional core. Now, I like to think about core strength in two different ways. First, that's absolute core strength. I'll define that as your body's ability to resist flexion or extension anteriorly, posteriorly, or laterally at the hips against an inert object, mainly like a heavy barbell or some kind of weighted object. And then my second definition of core strength, that would be relative core strength. And that's your body's ability to flex or extend against the force of gravity. Now, while absolute core strength and relative core strength may be on opposite ends of the spectrum, I think you can make a very strong argument that both an elite level strength athlete and an elite level gymnast both possess tremendous core strength. That's why I feel like training both forms of core strength is extremely important, and that makes up true core strength. So now that we've defined both absolute and relative core strength, here are my top 5 exercises to get your core strong as fuck. So easily, the number 1 core exercise would be heavy squats and heavy deadlifts. Honestly, nothing is going to get your core strong like heavy ass squats and deads. Have you ever seen a guy with a fucking barrel for a midsection with defined abs? While he may not be symmetrical like a men's physique competitor, if he has muscles popping out of every corner of his body, chances are he's strong as fuck. So if you want a strong core, do compound movements. Squats, deadlifts, heavy bent over rows. These movements develop your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, and your spinal erectors like no other. My second core exercise that everyone should be doing would be weighted back extensions or weighted sit-ups, or unweighted back extensions or unweighted sit-ups. While experts may disagree with this, those two exercises, they do a tremendous job of strengthening your core to give you the strength to keep your torso upright, especially when you're being pulled down by heavy weights when you're doing back squats or deadlifts. So definitely make sure you're doing weighted back extensions or weighted sit-ups. Coming in at number 3 would be weighted carries. Seriously, what's more functional than weighted carries? And what applies more to real life than weighted carries? What are you doing when you carry your groceries from your car into your home? Or what are you doing when you take your luggage and put it in the overhead bin on an airplane? My favorite weighted carries would easily be farmer's carries, suitcase carries, sandbag carries, uneven carries like a kettlebell zigzag carry. Nothing really taxes your core more than doing weighted carries. Every major muscle group in your core is being used to keep your torso upright and stabilize it as you're doing the weighted carry. Anyone that's ever done a heavy ass sandbag carry, you know what it feels like. You can't breathe and your low back feels like it's about to explode. They're fucking hard, all right? Definitely incorporate weighted carries if you want to have a strong core. Coming in at number 4 is the classic ab wheel rollout. This is undoubtedly my favorite exercise to directly train my abs. No other exercise activates my rectus abdominis more than a standing ab wheel rollout. And if you can do a standing ab wheel while maintaining a hollow body position, I'd say your abs are strong as shit. This exercise has been around for like 100 years, and it saddens me that I don't see more people doing them. Probably because they're hard. But you can and should start with kneeling ab wheels first and just focus on increasing the range of motion until those feel easy, and you can gradually progress to standing variations of ab wheel rollouts, such as band assisted ab wheel rollouts, where the band allows you to train the end range of motion, and that's where most people lack strength, so banded ab wheels are great for that. I also love doing standing ab wheel rollouts up a ramp, which makes it slightly easier and allows you to train the full range of motion also. You can also take a board, stick it on top of a bar like in a rack, and you can adjust the angle of the ramp, and you can lower the angle as you gradually get stronger. Very simple way to train ab wheels that I never see people doing. Additionally, if you don't have an ab wheel, you can easily make one with a barbell and 2 plates. Or if you have like a Concept 2 rowing machine or any rowing machine with a moving seat, you can use the seat of the rower to train the same movement as well. Number 5 would be Lsits. Lsits could just as easily be number 1. It just really depends on who you talk to. Chances are you're not going to see many like elite level strength athletes or like big strong dudes doing them just because they're too hard. But simply like Lsits, like nothing is going to train like compression strength and the strength to flex your body more than like any kind of Lsits. They're fucking hard as shit, but you definitely should do them. I'm still personally at like the beginner level for Lsits, but I do them all the time, at least once or twice a week. Some of my favorite variations of Lsits would be when you're just doing them on Lsits, holding your legs up and straight together for as long as possible. Do like multiple sets. If that's a bit too advanced for you, you can do Lsit pulses where you got both knees out and you just extend one leg at a time. All right, great variation of Lsits. Another awesome part about Lsits is you can really do them anywhere, and you don't have to have a set of Lsits necessarily to do them. You can do them like in between 2 boxes or between 2 benches. You can take 2 kettlebells and do the Lsits there. Or if you're strong enough, you can actually do an Lsit on the floor. Very hard though, but if you can do that, you got my props for sure. Lsits or hanging Lsits are another great way to train them. I like doing where you just hang from the bar, you kind of like do a strict toes to bar and then bring your legs down and hold it at 90 degrees, doing like a straight leg hanging Lsit. That's gonna tax your like midline and your core like better than most other exercises you could do. Again, if it's too difficult, just bend your knees and extend one leg at a time. If that's too hard, just hang from a bar holding your knees up. That's gonna tax your midline like a lot, and it's a great way to start if you're new to Lsits. So basically, those are like my top 5 ways to train your core. However, there's literally like 1,000 different core exercises. So I would be remiss if I didn't have like some honorable mentions. If you're gonna train your core, you can also incorporate these and they'll definitely get you stronger. Think about dragon flags. These are super hard, but they're amazing. You see a lot of gymnasts doing them. It takes a lot of strength and control to go lower yourself down slowly, but definitely do it. You can always modify it by keeping one leg bent and one leg straight, or you can bend both legs. Just make sure you're going down slowly and controlled. After dragon flags, don't forget about pike pulses. This is another like gymnastic movement that looks really simple, but is actually hard as shit. Just sit down, legs straight, together in front of your body, and just try to lift your legs. Make sure you're keeping your chest forward, all right? If you're leaning way back, you're missing the point of the movement. If you can't do like a double leg pike pulse, just start off doing single leg pike pulses. Those are great as well, and they build a tremendous amount of strength in your lower abs and your hip flexors. Also, V-ups. These are a classic, but you can't really get anything better. Just make sure you're laying on the ground, try to keep your legs perfectly straight, arms straight, and just V up and try to touch your shoelaces every rep. What's super important here, just make sure you're keeping your low back in the ground and you're staying balanced. If a perfect V-up is too difficult, just modify it to a tuck-in where you just bend your knees, but the movement is basically the same. Then, the hollow hold. This is like the basic of all basics for any kind of gymnast. This is the foundation of core strength. When you're doing it, just make sure you're lying on the ground, legs straight, hands over your head or at your sides. But what's most important here in the hollow hold is make sure you keep your low back pressing into the ground. Then we have barbell trunk twists. Some people may criticize me because I haven't mentioned a lot of like rotational core strength exercises. However, this is one I do quite often, and it's my favorite. Basically, you take a barbell, you can put it in the corner of a room or like in the corner of a machine, or if you have like a landmine attachment, that's even better. But keep your body straight and just like twist, and you're basically kind of like pivoting on your toes, keeping your arms straight and just like twisting at the core. It's an amazing way to train your abs and your transverse abdominis. Great for your obliques and all your core muscles around. A good rotational core strength exercise for sure. And then finally, you got your plank holds, all right? Anyone that doesn't like plank holds, I don't like you. Plank holds, they're seriously like the basic foundational core exercise movement. Just before you do anything, if you can't do a solid plank hold, then just make sure you master that before you move on to anything else. Side plank holds, they're amazing as well, and those are gonna like tax all your core muscles. Your middle ones, the ones on the side, and like your erector muscles. Make sure you're doing some kind of plank holds often. So hopefully now you all have a better idea on how to train both absolute and relative core strength. I guarantee if you incorporate any of these exercises or variations, you will have a better, stronger, and more well-rounded core. No matter what, train hard, get jacked. Thank you for watching. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you want to learn more about how I train, click on the links below. I have some badass training ebooks, and when you subscribe to either of my training programs, Straight Up Strength or True Strength Compete, you get 2 weeks free. Nothing to lose, lots to gain. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.